Today's project is a great idea for a quilt for a guy. I'm calling this pattern the Man Cave. I needed to make a quilt that's not too feminine, not too juvenile, and not too over the top for a young man in my family. I looked through a lot of patterns, but everything I saw just seemed a bit too feminine. So I came up with my own pattern. I started going through my stash to see what sort of fabrics I could use. And when you start looking at fabrics, many of them are pretty girly looking too. But the more I look at this quilt, the more I like it. I think it works. I think the Man Cave pattern is gender neutral, and it uses a lot of geometric fabrics. I decided to stick with black, white, and gray, with a few splashes of red. But of course, you can do this in any colors that you wish. But I think this 20-something computer guy I'm making this for is going to love it. This quilt that I made is huge, but you can make yours however big or small that you want. I first made enough blocks for a queen size, but he moved into his own apartment in the meantime, before I could get all the blocks sewn together, and he bought himself a California king bed. So I needed to make more blocks. I think it also needs a sashing and borders, and then that will help it to grow substantially without very much fuss. It goes together very quickly, and I really did enjoy making this quilt. I hope you do too.
Two of these, and I want to check and be sure that I have it going the right way. So those are going to be going up and down. These need to be going up and down. They're a little bit directional, but that'll do it. Okay, so we have our center 2.5-inch square, and we have our first round, and those are 2.5-inch squares. And we just sew them on each side. 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. So let's do that. Okay. And there's not a lot of, you can push it to either side. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really show through of this gray. It's pretty heavy. Okay. Okay, we have our first unit done, okay, with the two. Then what I'm going to do is take a strip, and I'm going to put the strip on here, and see, I did make it so that they're all going the same direction. So that'll look consistent and nice. All right, let's line it up. And notice I do have my tail here. I have the rest of it hanging over, so we'll just cut it even and flush with the unit whenever we get it done. So let's sew it. Okay, a little bit more. All right, there we go. And we'll finger press it. Looks nice, looks beautiful. All right, and then I'll get my scissors. Oops, dropped something, sorry about that. And I'll just cut that off so that it's flush. So you see how we have our first unit done? Almost. We have it to that point. Okay, and let's do this side then. Okay, and notice I'm using my fabric, the whole thing, so it goes over the edge, which is fine. Line it up here really nice and even and straight. Okay. And here we go. Let's line it up. Okay. And again, you can see that we have our block, our center block done, which is very, very nice. Let's move this back just a little bit so you can see it. Okay. That looks pretty good. So let's trim this even and flush. Easy to do. Okay. So we have our center done. So next will come our white strips, or our background, whatever color you're using. Put them on the sides first. Okay. We're going to construct it a lot like a log cabin. Okay, and sew those on. And you can see through, and you can turn it over also and cut it straight with that. So you push it back. I'm going to push it toward the center so it doesn't show, because this is a little bit thin. Not too thin. It'll probably be okay, but I'm going to do it that way. All right. And we will line up our next piece and sew it on. Okay, we'll flip it over and you can see where the end is, and we will cut it there very carefully. All right, now I cut these white strips from a jelly roll, so it's not a complete with the fabric, so I may need to get another one, but we'll try it and see if we can get two sides out of this. All right, and then we put the top and the bottom on it. Okay, so we'll go like that, line it up nicely. Okay. And I've got my seams pointed the direction I want them to go in. Okay. All right. Now what you can do, you can of course piece your pieces together if you want to. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to hit the camera. And let's cut that tail. And we'll see if we have enough. All right, let's sew this on the other side now. All right, here's our second piece. Let's start sewing it. We'll line it up nicely so that we have good coverage of all of our seams. Okay, and we will sew it. And as you see, we'll turn it over and we will cut off the excess, and we'll show you our block so far. Looks good, doesn't it? Looks really nice. Let me move the camera up some. Look, looks great. Okay, now let's get our dark outside. This is our last row, and we will sew this side first. We want the sides first. Okay. And we have the first side on. I cut these out of jelly rolls, so they're short. They're only like 22 inches long, but that's fine. We don't need anything longer than 22 inches, so it works. All right, let's sew this. This seam going that way. Hold it. Looking good. Looking really beautiful. Don't you think? Yeah. All right, and I will cut this straight across. Now let's do our bottoms. These are 17 inches, so I cut 15 inches. So I cut 2 from the jelly roll for that, because I don't want seams in my block. Flip it, and We'll cut this end off. Okay. All right, that's looking really nice. So let's put the last side on. Okay. And I'm pushing these seams to the dark side so that they don't show through on the white background. But you can use any color background that you desire as well. I just thought that the white really made the gray and black and red shine. Let's trim this off. Okay, and let's take a look at that. Beautiful, isn't it? Looks really nice. All right, I'll take a picture of it so that you can see the entire thing. I know that it's hard to see it here on the machine, but it turned out so nice. I think this block is really beautiful. And when you get them all together, it's a stunning quilt. It looks really good. So here's a shot of the block we just made. I think this design is gorgeous. It's very easy to make, as you saw. And also I'll put up the dimensions of the 2.5-inch strips that you need in case you want to pre-cut them. So here they are, and if you want to, you can take a screenshot of those dimensions. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and most importantly, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. That will really help me out. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.